Hey everybody, it's Galmadex and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we're going to be playing another premiere draft of the brand new Hobbit set. Without further ado, let's get into the pack one, pick one with a bunch of really good cards. But I'm going to go for the Eagles Are Coming, where you get to pick up one of your creatures and turn it into a 4/4 flying eagle. You can also pick up all of your creatures for 6 mana and then turn all of them into 4/4 flying eagles. Now those show up at the beginning of the next upkeep, so that's really important to remember. They don't immediately show up, but this is still an absolute game winner. If you have 5 creatures on board, you now have 5 4-power flyers and you can just deal 20 to your opponent. So I'm going to take the Eagles Are Coming, but these uncommons are all really strong, and we have a second rare. So really, really strong pack there, but I'm going to go with the Eagles Are Coming. For pick number 2, it's important to know there's only 5 archetypes in this set that are particularly supported, and we'll have multicolored cards for them. And those are red, white, and blue, white for the white decks. So when you start with a really good white rare, try to take something in red or blue. If there's not a big difference in power level, you can just lean on one of those two colors. So the best cards in this pack happen to be red and blue anyway, where we can take the Misty Mountains Raider, a 5 mana 4/4 that amasses 2 goblins whenever you attack with anybody, not even them, so they'll amass the turn you play them if you attack with somebody else. And then like Uneasy Partings for a really solid piece of interaction. The Master's Counselors was pretty cool in our last deck as well, but maybe a little bit slow on average. I'm going to go for the Misty Mountains Raider. This card seems very, very strong, amassing another 2 power onto the board every single time that you attack. So that's pretty easy to trigger basically every turn and then do some gnarly stuff. Pick 3, we've got the flexible removal spell. It can blow up a big creature, can protect your own card with indestructibility. I like that. I don't think there's any other red or white cards that are that good, but we could speculate on blue. We could also be blue-white here and take the elf token producer or the removal spell, but I'll grab the white removal, Stone by Sunlight. Pick number 4 now. We've got the Patient Instructor's a decent white card. 3 mana, 2/2 Vigilance, draw a card, discard a card. If you discard an online card, you get a 1/1 Human Soldier. There's also that nasty little rabbits, which I think is one of green's best uncommons in my opinion, because there's a lot of solid beefy creatures in green. It's pretty easy to get this getting bigger and bigger every single turn, where it can be really absurd for only 1 mana. Duskwatch Hunter is one of those commons that's a 3 mana 4-power creature to get the rabbit growing very quickly. The only awkward part is there's no green-red or green-white deck that is particularly well supported here, so we won't be able to play any of the signpost uncommons or anything if we go green-white or something here. But I think it's enough better than the red or the white cards to speculate on it anyway. Pick number 5 now. We've got some filler white commons that look decent. And we do have the Eagles Are Coming, so unless the green cards are way better, I'm probably taking one of those. It's a bunch of solid green cards as well. I do like the Wanderers a good chunk, but I think I can go ahead and take another white card just because the Eagles Are Coming. Yeah, I'm going to get the 2 mana creature. You need a lot more of those than you need 5 mana creatures like the Raiders, so I'm not going to take a second 5 mana creature this early. There's another Patient Instructor. That looks fine. There's another nasty little rabbit. Maybe I overvalue that card and I'm getting excited over nothing, but I like that rabbit a lot, and I think I'm going to take another one here over a Patient Instructor. So what are the good reasons we have to be in a particular color? We have 2 rabbits, we have a raider, we have the Eagles Are Coming. These are all the good reasons we have to be in these colors. These 2 cards are a little more filler. There is a red-white duel here. It's also a Wanderers, which is good top end for a rabbit deck, so I don't mind that. Also Patient Instructor for solid filler in white. I'm going to take the Wanderers here. I'm liking the green we're seeing. There's a Wood Elves to get to that Wanderer early. There's no red cards, and the white card is just okay. I'll take the Wood Elves here, although the Stony Voice Goblins is pretty solid out of black too. There's the Duskwatch Hunter, which is the 3 mana 4-power creature to buff up the nasty little rabbits. I like that a lot. Maybe we will just make our own little green-white deck here somehow. There's the Ordinary Bear, 4 mana 4-power creature for the ferocious stuff. Blue removal spell if we go green-blue, although green-blue seems like kind of a awkward archetype overall, because generally the idea is it's supposed to be like landfall and elves, but we're really focused on ferocious right now with the rabbits. I think we're definitely green with the way that first pack went. We got some solid green. The best white card we got was our pack one pick one, and then we didn't really see particularly good white later. The Misty Mountains Raider was like the pack two pick one, so I don't feel like red had anything really good going late either. But we'll see. Third nasty little rabbit for a really consistent rabbit deck sounds great to me, but if this Gandalf is excellent, we might force like a weird green-red deck. 3 mana, 2/3. Whenever you cast a non-creature, gets +1/+1 till end of turn, deals 1 to each opponent, and you also get the adventure 2 mana, look at the top 2, exile them face down. For as long as they remain exiled, you may play them if you control a wizard. That's pretty solid. So it's a draw 2 for as long as you control the Gandalf themselves. You can play those cards. Not incredibly exciting, though. I'm just going to take another Rabbits. I don't think like quite exciting enough to get me to play like an unsupported archetype, although more 4-power creatures for Ferocious that are also amassing over and over. I like the Raider. I also like the Mirkwood Nurturer with the Rabbits. One of the cool things that we were able to do with it while we were stuck on mana is to play it, pick up a land, replay the land, and then play the Rabbit in the same turn. Get a counter on both those cards. Yeah, I like the Nurturer in Rabbit decks. I'm going to grab it here. Unblockable Bilbo that lets us draw a card, discard a card every time he hits our opponent. Could also flip some stuff around. That just seems okay. Doesn't really have anything to do with the green half of our deck. We could take white removal and just play green-white. Not worry about theming or multicolored cards. Same with taking red removal like Pinecone Strike. We get an Eagles are coming. This might be absurd, but I'm going to take a magnificent end here. Eagles Rescue, double white and 2, +2/+2 flying, and you can return it from the graveyard to the battlefield attached to a creature with power 1 or less. Interesting. So that can go on to like your 1/1 human tokens, which we're not going to have a lot of. There's another Mirkwood Nurturer here, and there's another Wood Elves here. I think both are really nice. What if I go hyper aggro, all in on Rabbit Nurturer combo? I'm going to do that rather than getting more ramp, I think. Grab Nurturer. Okay. Another Nurturer. There's also the ramp of the Troop of Ponies. There's a Dwarven Provisioner. I'm just going all in. Triple Mirkwood Nurturer. Another Ordinary Bear. The Lord of the Eagles for like a Blue-White Flyers deck or something. That's pretty cool. I like the Decree a lot, but it's also a lot of mana. I don't have any 2-mana creatures yet. Hattercop seems like solid filler. Yeah, it can be a 3/2 on attacks, and it is able to block and kill pretty much anything, or it's able to quarrel with anything and kill it. Let's grab Coral. Removal in our 1 color we're definitely playing. Another Mirkwood Nurturer. Or look at the top 20 cards of your library, put any lands from among them. By the time we have 8 mana in draft, we do not need more. We are not going to play that. Play Mirkwood Nurturer or Uneasy Partings. Take the Nurturer, because I might just be mono green splash white rather than being green blue. Guardian of the Halls for another filler 2-drop, another Addercop, a Wargling. I like being green here. We only need like 3 more playables. Preferably like all interaction. We've got 3 pieces of removal right now. I guess the Eagles are coming is like way weaker on the splash because we do need triple white to actually get the bomb half of it where you pick up your whole board. But even just the 1/4/4 flyer I think is pretty dang good. Just Smaug. Bifur. Enters or attacks, put a counter on a creature. If you have 3 legendaries, artifacts, or sagas, then you've got the story where you're now double triggering that when it enters or attacks. You could also just take more green removal, which makes a ton of sense. I'm just going to get more green removal. Be quarreling. Old Fat Spider. 6 mana, 6/7, can't be blocked by small stuff. Handward becomes the target of something you draw a card. Pretty good. Also, Warg Tactics to help protect our nasty little rabbits, though, and we're kind of like the hyper rabbit deck. I'm going to take Warg Tactics over the Old Fat Spider. I'm going to go really, really low curve and really aggressive with this deck. Well, there's another Old Fat Spider, so we get the opportunity again. I don't know if I'm going to want to play 3 6-mana cards, but like another Adder Cop or another Guardian's not that exciting anyway. What if I could just go mono green? That can't be right, right? How many elves do we have in this deck? We've got 8 elves. Okay, big affinity for elf. Pick up some elves from the top 4 card. Looks fine. Cantankerous Keepers, and then maybe wheel an elf if we're lucky. Probably 5 mana on average with all these nurturers. Another nasty little rabbit. It's literally the card of the deck. Full play set. Another Wargling. Another Magnificent End off of a White Splash is a thing too. Do I have any halflings in here? I don't think so. Nope. So we're not going to take the Hobbit hole. I'll grab a Wargling. I guess I could still take a Hobbit hole for landfall cards like Addercop. Could get a double trigger. It's a cute thing you could do. Ooh, speaking of landfall and double trigger, Bjorn's Hospitality is cool. I mean, we're never going to double trigger it, but the landfall counters. Another Warg Tactics would be nice, though, especially if we go mono green, just have more non-creature cards and more interaction. Protecting us from flyers and protecting our main key cards from being interacted with. Yeah, let's do it. Let's be goofy. We're at 25 cards right now. 21 creatures. We cut exclusively creatures here. I want to keep every single elf in here for the Cantankerous Keepers. Some combination of these is probably fine. There we go. That's 23 cards. Cut another Ordinary Bear if we find anything else. Is Bjorn really better than Ordinary Bear? I'm not sure. We'll just run one of each. We'll try them out. Some good red and black cards late. Oh wait, will I run one of each? I'm at 25 cards again somehow. I messed something up. Okay. I think I meant to cut one of the Warglings still. I'm gonna run another Wargling over another Adder Cop. Well, we got triple Wanderers in the end. You know, with Cantankerous Keepers. Might not be insane to play a third Wanderers over an Old Fat Spider, but Old Fat Spider's pretty cool too. Elf count 9. So we're on like 1 elf on average off the trigger. That still might not even be that good. Probably need more than like 12 elves for this to be getting you anywhere near like 1.5 cards. I guess it really only needs to draw 1 to be a good deal, but still. Alright, I'm just going to run this deck as it is. This is a goofy one. Play around with some green cards, get some rabbits really rolling in. See if we can't overwhelm our opponents with the killer rabbits from Monty Python. Alright. Awkward to draw the nasty little rabbit on turn 2, but better than drawing it even later. Got the Wood Elves ramp into our high mana value elves, which is fun. Five drop next turn and then start spamming 6 drops. Should be a good game for us. They might have the counter unless we pay 4, in which case they can counter anything anyway. But if this does resolve, the rabbit gets counters. Nice. We got an elf too. Beautiful. They've got the Elf Lord over there, so they get a 1/1 every time they play a land. That's a very sad missed land drop. And pick up the Wood Elves then, so that if we miss again, we can replay it and get a land. Well, they're going to have to put a lot of toughness out here because everybody's got trample next turn. But even just playing a land gives them another 2 toughness. They're at 5 toughness right now. They're at 9 life, and we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, let's see. 8 plus 3, 11, plus another 4. 15 power. So they need 6 toughness. Need more than 6 toughness. 7 or more. Okay, that works, I believe, because now we're going to be on 11 power minus 5. 6 damage. Ooh, Mirkwood Nurturer. Actually not a bad draw at all. I can pick up the rabbit to replay it, but I can also just pick up a land and play Wood Elves in this same turn, which is also pretty good. So I think I'm going to go for that here. Quarrel the Wargling away to get rid of the trample. That's sad. They double block one and we kill both. They don't. They just trump. We would kill both on a double block because by killing the Lord, we would lower the other one's toughness back to 1. There's their Wanderers. 5 toughness is bad for us. Thanks to the Elf Lord. Oh god, and they got a Mythic. 5 mana, 6/6. Okay, we got Quarrel, so we win, right? Blow that up, block, take 5. Yeah, we win. Forget everything I was saying, it's irrelevant, and we get to move on to the next game of Magic, starting off 1-0, heading into game number 2. All right, here we are on the play for game number 2 with 2 rabbits for our Mirkwood Nurturer to juice up. I am excited about this game. I'm pretty pumped about this. See what our opponent's going to do, but we're going to have some beef rolling in fast. It's 1 less +1/+1 counter to play the Wargling first instead of the nasty little rabbits. But then we get the 3/2 trample swing instead of just the 2/3 swing. That +1/+1 counter is probably better. It's 1 less point of damage total. Playing against a red deck, and they do have the Tidings of War to amass goblins 1. Removal spell on one of the rabbits. Sad. Poke us for 1, and we'll poke back for 2. Ooh, nice, and we can play the Duskwatch Hunter, so we don't have to pick up a land yet. The Duskwatch Hunter cannot be blocked by the army because it's a token. There's Dane, which comes with the equipment and can give himself double strike. Okay. They don't have any blocks that matter already. Cool. I mean, I guess they just put the 1/4 on the 3/4. I've got some 6 mana cards in this deck. I'm gonna just drop a Wargling instead of playing Nurturer. Oh, there goes the rabbit. Absolute tragedy. Oh, they hit the Duskwatch Hunter because they think we might not have another 4-power creature, but here I am having another 4-power creature. Let's go. They're down to 9. Now the rabbit's big enough, even if they kill our other creatures, the rabbit can buff itself up. The Dwarven Matic is very scary with double strike. Dang, found the old fat spider, but not the mana for it yet. Block the rabbit with the Dane, and then we trample over with the rest. That is 7 power total minus 1, 6 damage. What if they block and kill the Nurturer, and then the rest tramples over? That is 8 power minus 1, 7 damage, lose the Nurturer. 7 damage, lose the Nurturer doesn't sound like an insane plan here. They'd be at 2. I'm gonna do it. Okay. That's gonna put them to 1, I think. Instead, but I understand the play. They get rid of the trample. Makes sense. Balin lets them discard their hand, draw a new one. But they gotta find removal or they're dead. We just need one more creature than they have blockers, and we currently have that. They did not find removal, and we are 2-0 heading into game 3. Alright, here we are on the draw for game number 3. I do not like a 2-lander with 2 6-drops in it. But I do like Nasty Little Rabbit, so I'm going to gamble on this one on the draw. Well-worn Spatula. It's the start for our opponent. Gain a life when they play that equipment. And in red and white and Boros, there's a lot of cards that care about equipment in general, and that is what they're playing. Okay, another Nasty Little Rabbit is here. But we don't have anybody big enough for them yet. They're now storied. They've got a 4/3 vigilance because of it. We hit a Wargling. Quarrel away the Nori, I guess. We are desperate to draw one of our 5 3-mana 4-power creatures. Let's We're working on this board. Waiting till then their turns, they might try to equip Nori instead of Ori. I doubt it, but you know, there's a chance. And then Quarrel does even more for us. Take 5. Go to 13. See, now I can't cast Quarrel because they could just have the 2 mana deal 3 or something and blow me out really poorly. So that play did not work at all. Warg Tactics is the draw, which would be good with more mana, but we are not finding mana. It's looking bad. Just the stranded rabbits. Probably should have mulliganed. It's the only main choice we had this game. Can't really triple block against all this open mana, even with a Warg Tactics. We really want to have both of these up. I mean, get there eventually, but still 1 mana off from this actually being good, because we need the Warg Tactics up to not just get blown out by removal. Now they just blow up the Nurture before the rabbits trigger, and then I still have no blockers for Ori. Okay, well. At least they're letting the rabbits trigger. If they do have the removal. Grab a swamp, pass. Okay. No instant speed removal is very surprising. Dane's Company draws a dwarf for an equipment from the top 4. What on earth? It finds another rare. Once per turn they can equip for free, and every time they play dwarf for equipment they draw a card. That's really good. Okay. Well then. Terrifying. It's pretty rough. Did they have the 2 mana Pinecone the whole time and they held off from blowing up Nurture earlier? That would get one of our triple blockers killed for nothing. That's wild. Alright. Man, that 1 man is really brutal. And then no lands. We'll move on to the next one there. Risky keep, and it really didn't pan out. That'll be 2-1 heading into game number 4. Alright, I mean, this is a very boring but very safe keep, so I'll roll with it. I am incredibly saddened by the lack of nasty little rabbits. Thorin from our Boros opponent, not appointment. And why did I not landfall there? Am I stupid? The answer is yes. Should have landfalled first. I'll just play that as a 3-2 here, actually. Okay, play trick. Sure. Basically 1-for-1 removal, we're chilling. Another nurturer. I did a stupid again. This poor Addercop just missing out on 2 points of damage because I'm dumb. Oh no. So misplays this game, but it is not going to matter if they play a Smog on us. We can't even try to deal with that with the Reach Death Toucher, because it's just going to ping away the Addercop when it declares the attack, because they'll have the treasure token for the trigger. Haha, I lied. We can just destroy it. Sometimes you top deck like a champ. And now it probably does matter that we missed a couple points of damage. They should be at 12 right now. Goblin Plate Mail for the 2/1 Menace. Ooh, and then put an own counter on all the equipment so that it's a 3/1 Menace. Very strong rare. Buffing up the equipment over and over and over and over and over. We're having a rough time drawing lands these last couple games. Kind of feel like I have to play the defensive, but I just cannot block profitably regardless. Pass through. Just can't really attack in the first striker either. But yeah, I mean, they get to attack both here, and that would make the equipment make the army a 4/1. I guess I could just, if they attack both without moving the equipment, I get to just eat the Weapon Master at least. But if I double block the army, it's going to kill both my creatures if they put another counter onto the equipment. Oh my god, another plate mail with that. Weapon Master is crazy. Lose my whole board to deal with that. It's 7 if I don't. Just can't draw lands. Not that lands would help us at this point. But it is unfortunate. Yeah, now Doylan just starts popping off with that menace. Actually pretty happy they still attack both here. Might have just held off if I were them and then put menace on the other creature too. But maybe they have a third creature in hand. Sort of, not a haste creature though. Okay, just draw another expensive card. That's certainly game. That is 2-2 heading into game 5. I don't think these last couple losses were massively faults of the deck. We were just drawing super poorly, unfortunately. Now this is an opening hand I can get behind. We are on the play for game number 5 here with Nasty Little Rabbit into multiple different 4-power, 3-mana creatures as options. I'm going to probably lead with the Duskwatch Hunter, so I don't have to pick up a land. Quarrel is the draw. Nothing to shoot unless they play a really good 1-toughness card, which I doubt will happen. Grab a land from their Hobbit hole. It's a green land. They're going to Jund us out. Here's the Duskwatch Hunter. Go to combat holding up Coral if they flash a creature in, but it's probably just removal here. Don't kill the rabbit, not the rabbit. No, the rabbit. Alright, deal 4. Nurture, pick up a land when they're at 13 to keep the pressure on. So we can still Wood Elves into Quarrel next turn. Head of the Hunt is not going to do anything against Quarrel. Put them to 5. There's one blocker. They're dead on board. We've got a Wanderer's post-combat if they live. I guess they probably live, because they can play a 3-mana creature for 1 mana, because Radagast is pretty busted. Yeah, and they do live. Their second block is not super good, though. Oh, why did they pay the life? Oh, so they could kill 2 of our creatures. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. The alternative was probably worse for them. Chief Warg. Play a land. Well. 6/6 attacks in. Well, here they don't have 6 power. There's the concession from our opponent. They do not want to chump block with those cards, and they are over it. We are 3-2 now. After a couple quick losses in a row, we recover, and we're at least a 50-50 record for the draft. Here we are on the play for game number 6. We got the Nasty Little Rabbit into the Wargling. If we draw any of our 3-mana creatures, this is going to be an incredible game. So we got those 5 3-mana 4-power creatures. Unfortunately, we do not find one of them. But at least we do still have a creature to play this turn, and things are still going to go wild as soon as we find one. Patient Instructor with a really good card to ditch. Keepers with no elves is unfortunate and unlikely, but that is the way of life. Let's Quarrel here. Long Lake Nuisance. Oh, it's a target for Work Tactics. I don't even think I really needed to kill that, considering all my creatures would just trade into it already. This is an awkward Cantankerous Keepers, still. Sadly. Turn my phone audio down. Apologies for that. Mirkwood Nurturer for the 4 power to trigger everybody. These are both 3 power tramplers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 power with trample, and they have 5 toughness. I could hit for 3 and take a bunch of trades. I guess it's hit for 3, clear out both the 2/2s with our 3/2s. It's not bad. Yeah, let's do it. We're about to play a draw spell. Keep that board whittled down. They're down to 3 life. Lakeshore Apothecary. Celebrate the Mountain King is exceptional here. That's going to buff the Apothecary, giving them another draw. It's going to get rid of our 4-power creature. It's going to get rid of the mana we need for Cantankerous Keepers, and it's going to give them another blocker if they discard a non-land. Just like a bajillion for one. Okay, they didn't discard an on-land at least. That's a bad draw. That's a bad draw. Okay. Eat a 1/1, pass the turn. Okay, well, hexproof away the removal. Oh my god. Draw another 6-drop. It's just rough. The Warg Tactics is not a horrific draw, but the 6-drops are. There's a Gandalf. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. There's only one more card in the whole deck we could draw that's not castable. Out of the next 26 cards, there's one uncastable one now. We've hit 3 out of 4 that we could in the top 14. Yikes, man. I mean, I think they got us. I mean, obviously this deck had issues for sure. Monocolor decks are not going to be able to have quite as much interaction, quite as much going for them. But I think this deck was kind of hosed by the shuffler for its losses, really, overall. I wouldn't have been surprised to see this deck 3-3, but the way that it 3-3'd was really disappointing. It just didn't feel like the losses were games of Magic. So, I mean, an average record overall, 50-50 here, but you hate to see the way it happened. I think these losses were not particularly close. I mean, I guess technically they're at 3 life, but still, like, we literally just aren't allowed to cast our spells for 3 different losses. All right, that'll do it. 3 and 3 it is for this deck. Honestly, I think that when we could actually draw lands, the deck played better than I thought it would. Because I would have expected and been okay with a 3-3 there on average, because I felt that we were going to run up against some good stuff that could interact with us early and stop the little rabbit combo stuff. But that's not really what happened that made us lose. It was just hitting the chunkers and not the lands. Yeah, I mean, it was 2 games in a row of getting stuck on like 3 lands, and then the final game drawing 3 out of 4 6-drops and only 5 lands. Just rough mana stuff, really. Obviously, that is another improvement that could be made to this deck, because we have a full play set of Nasty Little Rabbits. We got the 5 4-power creatures at 3 mana to try to do that as consistently as possible. We could just really lean into that and have that be basically the only game plan. So perhaps an adjustment to the deck where we cut the spider and one of the wanderers or something, and we run just a couple ordinary bears, or another Addercop and a bear would make it better, like marginally better. But yeah, just felt like some really sad draws today for what was otherwise a very fun, very cool deck that kind of overperformed when it drew its lands. But hey, it is what it is. 3 and 3, an average record for the day. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.